I got an email from my friend who was wanting to know how I am and how things are going since I've disrobed, and I thought I would share because I'm imagining there might be a few people who are also curious. And so rather than give you a chronological sequencing of all of the events, I thought what I'd do is just kind of catch you up with a few stories and a summary. But one of the things that I've noticed is that most of the lifetime events that happen over the course of an entire lifetime have been compressed into a very short period of time. So, birth, early childhood, pre-adolescence, adolescence, early adulthood, being wise and sagacious, all of these kinds of things have happened since the time I've disrobed. And getting a driver's license and a car and opening up a bank account and navigating name changes and doing my taxes. Oh my goodness, doing my taxes and all these kinds of things. But and hair. I'm not at all confident about hair. I'm not sure I'm ever going to be confident about hair. I love my bald head, and you're going to see me bald again. The hair thing is just it's just anyway. The hair is a thing, and I think I have a preference for my baldness. But something that's just lovely that I'm noticing is just the way that I can spontaneously engage with people and have deep conversations around Dhamma, but I'm not having to navigate the apprehension or the awkwardness or the uncertainty of speaking with somebody who's visibly different, and it isn't clear why I'm different, what rules I keep, and how to engage with me in a way that's suitable and appropriate. And so, just the other night I was hanging out, and it was after dark, and there was a man in his 20s, and we were having a conversation, and then later went up and were speaking with some of his friends, and it was a conversation about Dhamma, and it was completely relaxed. And there was just something for me in that context that was just delightful about the not having to worry about if what I was doing was inappropriate for the context that I was in. And so I was just noticing how deeply delightful it was to do something as blameless as having a conversation after dark with some young people, outside. It was just lovely. So, part of what I'm navigating is just this exploration of what is it that I want? What do I want to do? And I don't have the answer. I don't know. So I met somebody and she was inviting a group of us to come join this change bell ringing. So I had no idea what change bell ringing was, and so I thought, well, I don't know, but I can go and find out. So I went, and there's a group of people who are not far from me, just 5 minutes away in the car, and there's this whole process of ringing these handbells according to these particular patterns that mimic the way the church bells in Europe sound on the bell towers, and it's called change bell ringing. And so it was a completely new experience for me, and so that was lovely. And I, before I became a nun, one of the things that I used to love to do was to do improvisational dance, which is a little bit like, it's not, but though for me what was similar about it with meditation is that whatever you're experiencing is allowed to be there, and you can engage with it in an incredibly creative way. So if your thoughts or your feelings or your moods are surfacing, you can engage with it in a way around dancing it, dancing your mind states, dancing your moods, dancing your thoughts and your feelings. And before I learned about meditation, this was my first window of how to engage in mind states without making a big story around it, and how to get some more space around things. So I noticed that there's an improvisational dance group in San Diego, and so I'm curious to go explore and to see what that's like and how that feels, and if that feels useful or compelling or helpful. So I'm in a process of exploration and figuring out what I like and what I want, and I'm also on a healing journey, and the healing journey is also supported by um, doing things that are make me feel happy and focusing on joy, and so where I'm at right now, which is just a few blocks away from the beach, is fabulous because the beach makes me happy. You know, there's the just being in a place where you can look out and you don't see anything constructed, and then there's the change of the ocean and the tides and the sea and the pelicans that are flying above. You know, that's just fabulous. So all of these transitions, you know, birth and childhood and pre-adolescence and adolescence and young adulthood, and so, you know, I'm probably in a young adulthood, pre-adolescent, adolescent phase of looking, what do I want? You know, what do I want? What do I like? And learning to feel what that feels like. So, you know, I certainly, I didn't disrobe because I was interested in clothes and hairstyles. You know, it was the opposite. You know, for me, there's a lot of things about the world that I don't find at all compelling, and in fact, I find a lot of distaste or displeasure in many of the things connected to the world. It doesn't draw me. I have an aversion to it. But I also notice that, you know, there can be a deep level of presence and connection and care and kindness, and it's not connected to an external form, and people can sense that, and they can drop in when they feel that in you. So even though my appearance looks a lot more like everybody else's than it did as a monastic, it's not how you look, it's how you are. And I'm still noticing that when I'm in a place where I feel dropped in and connected and my heart is open, and people connect with me there, and it supports them to access those things themselves, and the conversations are rich and nourishing. So I have a car and I drive it, and boy, it's, you know, agency, being able to do the things that you want to do, having a car and a vehicle where you can actually travel, that's pretty amazing. That's an amazing thing. And so, you know, I don't have to get a bus ticket, and I don't need to ask somebody to help me. I can get in the car and I can go. And so virtually every single day when I get in the car, I feel such a gratitude, you know. It's lovely, and a gratitude that I can do that, a gratitude for the car, a gratitude for the generosity of Kathleen, who was generous to gift it to me in the way that she did, and so I feel that. And so also, you know, in my healing journey, a lot of the support that I have is coming because of the kindness and the goodwill of many, many people. And every day I'm filled with generosity, gratitude for the generosity that allows me to be where I am and do what I am and continue to heal. So here I am, and thank you, and I'll keep you posted. That's it for now.